A very good evening to you all. It's really good to be part of this important discussion around the future of migration and how we consider an ethical response as we go forward. So we see many benefits of migration, including the influx of labour, capital, innovation, cultural diversity, and that is so enriching for our communities. But we've also seen many challenges around access to public services and the scale of immigration that has unfortunately created silos and social fragmentation. So I'm going to offer a brief dimension on the role of religion towards a new policy, and then we'll talk a little bit about what I think a good policy could look like. So we all know that the religious makeup of the UK is diverse, complex, and multicultural. So whilst religion appeals to many of us by providing a coherent group identity, by providing social and emotional support, we have a number of different religions which may not be uniform in their perspectives within that religion and between the religions as well. Scriptures, we know, can be interpreted very differently by different people. So which religion should have the loudest voice? And could the wide range of religious diversity we have relate to that one voice? I think the answer going forward is in the values that are practiced by people of all religions, and those are the ones that are interchangeable with British values. So rather than the teachings of one religion specifically underpinning national policy, I believe that today's shared religious and interfaith values are the key enablers for an ethical and effective immigration policy to be successful. These shared values focus on how we live and exemplify the principles of kindness, compassion, grace, and humanity for the common good of all. What we're seeing today is religious communities working together more and more. Interfaith action is something which is producing powerful outputs, and places of sanctuary, just like this, places of worship, open day in, day out, supporting people, providing help to those who need it. These places of worship and interfaith sanctuaries of shared values are key areas of kindness, hope, and compassion. And these are the places where we welcome immigrants. And these are the key enablers, I think, interfaith values and places of worship. So what should the actual immigration policy look like? In order to have a functional and effective immigration system, we need it to serve the interests of the indigenous population as well as the immigrants. And this needs to be implemented by the shared interfaith values with the aim of welcoming others and building a common and prosperous life together. So here are the other important aspects. I would add that this should be a qualitative welcome. So this presupposes the expectation that immigrants become fully fledged members of the community and thus integrated and happy members. Controlled immigration is the way forward. Controlled immigration is the only way we can ensure we have a full and thriving workforce which can contribute fully. And the controls also should be around cultural diversity, gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and economic status, all of the protected characteristics. It's so important to have a net migration target. The principle of a target will help to hold the government to account and give them a benchmark aim around which policy can be shaped. Improved immigration data is essential. We have seen so many exit checks, so much data which are intended to enable accurate calculations of people coming in and people going out, but they've failed to achieve their purpose. Without accurate figures, no policy can be properly devised or even evaluated. We need active social cohesion efforts and integration. So from my own experience at the grassroots, the language barrier is an important part of this. Common language is a key mechanism for integration and for full participation in the national and political life here. And the immigrants will benefit from the knowledge of the language, and language is also a unifying force and helps to bring friendships. The environment and natural resources sometimes get overlooked when we talk about immigration. We're already very densely populated and heavily urbanized. And so the scale of immigration that we have seen has put increasing pressure on the ability of the land to remain enticing and scenic. We need to think about the increasing urbanization which is threatening biodiversity and species. We need to tackle illegal immigration. It's estimated there are 1 million people in the UK who do not have the legal right to be here. The law of the land must prevail. We need to create a better understanding of asylum seekers and refugees, recognising the complex reality of people's experience of migration, but then establishing fair and efficient ways to judge asylum claims, to follow firm procedures, but also to deport those who don't qualify. And we need a foreign policy that encourages countries of origin and transit to treat people better, ensuring that those who are admitted into the country flourish. Just summing up then, I also want to mention the importance of effectively combating human trafficking, supporting victims of modern slavery and children involved in human trafficking as one of our priorities. That's a key aspect of an immigration policy. And we also need investment in housing and public services. Let us work to ensure there are enough school places, housing arrangements, and support services to support not just the immigrants but the wider community as well. The immigration debate is a timeless one. I feel that Britain is a very welcoming nation with a rich diversity. And to continue to welcome immigrants effectively, we need a scale and a pace that will allow us to do so in the best way possible. Qualitative immigration with the support enablers of interfaith values, underpinned by the foremost responsibility to accommodate the interests of the Indigenous community as partners for more positive outcomes for the whole community. Thank you.